since Hamas's devastating attack on October 7, 2023. Israel and Gaza have been locked in a conflict that has fundamentally reshaped the region and tested the limits of humanity, diplomacy, and survival. Today we're walking through where things stand in mid-2025. The current reality, ongoing operations, humanitarian collapse, and glimmers of future diplomacy. The current Gaza war traces back to the Hamas attack on October 7, 2023. Israel responded with a sweeping military campaign that included aerial strikes and ground incursions into Gaza. Gaza is witnessing an officially declared famine. The first IPC-declared famine outside Africa. About 5,14,000 people are already affected, with projections rising to 6,41,000 by end of September. UNICEF reports an estimated 18,000 child deaths in Gaza since the conflict began, nearly 28 children per day amid widespread malnutrition. The destruction is staggering. Up to 90% of residential buildings and massive portions of infrastructure, cultural sites, hospitals, and schools have been damaged or destroyed. Over 60,000 Palestinians killed, mostly civilians. Thousands displaced and struggling with collapsed health systems and food insecurity. Since March 25, 2025, anti-Hamas protests have erupted within Gaza itself. Citizens worried by war demanded the end of conflict and Hamas's authority. Authorities cracked down brutally, executing and detaining demonstrators. An international UN-backed conference took place in New York, July 28th to 30th, 2025. It aimed at advancing the two-state solution through a 15-month plan, including disarmament proposals and post-conflict governance frameworks. France, Canada, the UK, and others flagged intentions to recognize a Palestinian state, but often on conditions tied to reforms and security commitments. Yet, many observers lament that such recognition appears symbolic, insufficient amid rampant settlement expansion and the Netanyahu government's formal rejection of a viable two-state model. A compelling analysis recently argued that the two-state solution is becoming an outdated illusion undermined by decades of imbalance, failed diplomacy, settlement growth, and entrenched power dynamics. The E1 settlement project, long frozen, is now being revived. Analysts warn it could practically eliminate the territorial contiguity required for a future Palestinian state. The Israel-Palestine conflict post-October 7th has evolved into a profound crisis, pitting military objectives against humanitarian catastrophe, igniting internal dissent, and stretching global diplomacy to its limits. The famine ravaging Gaza isn't just a consequence of war, it's a defining feature of it. Two-state diplomacy survives in word, but is collapsing in reality. What do you think? Can diplomacy navigate past this devastation? Or has the very concept of a two-state outcome been irrevocably compromised?